Number 10. 1964 Pontiac GTO. Before the GTO, performance in America was something manufacturers tiptoed around carefully, offering modestly powered engines in mid-size sedans and coupes. Pontiac, however, ignored caution entirely. By dropping a full-size 389 cubic inch V8 into the compact Tempest chassis, they effectively invented the muscle car blueprint almost overnight. The GTO wasn't about subtlety, balance, or practicality. It was about proving that raw displacement and unrestrained horsepower could be sold directly to everyday buyers. With up to 348 horsepower available from the factory, the GTO smashed preconceived notions that performance was reserved for exotic or expensive sports cars. It delivered its power with authority, launching aggressively off the line and making even seasoned drivers rethink what a mid-size American car was capable of. The combination of size, torque, and price made the GTO both accessible and revolutionary. It rewrote history by proving that muscle could be mass-produced, desirable, and utterly thrilling. Number 9. 1963 Chevrolet Impala Z11. Chevrolet had already been a dominant presence on drag strips, but the Z11 took factory performance to an entirely different, almost reckless level. This wasn't a simple performance package intended for casual street use. The Z11 was a factory-built dragster, disguised as a full-size family sedan. Beneath its familiar lines hid a 427 cubic inch W-Series engine, paired with extensive weight-saving measures that stripped the car of anything unnecessary. Aluminum components, stripped interiors, and other racing adaptations made it feel far more like a purpose-built machine than a consumer car. The acceleration was brutal, torque arrived instantly, and each shift reminded the driver of just how extreme a street car could be. The Z11 didn't compromise, it didn't apologize, it simply performed. It rewrote performance history by proving that the factory floor could produce machines capable of competing toe-to-toe with anything built in a professional race shop. Number 8. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The ZL1 Camaro wasn't designed to sell in volume or to be practical. It was built to dominate, and dominate it did. Chevrolet installed an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch engine designed for the racetrack into a lightweight Camaro, creating a vehicle that was wildly overpowered for normal streets. Official horsepower figures were deliberately conservative, but the engine produced well over 500 horsepower in real-world conditions. The ZL1 was loud, aggressive, and uncompromising, with every system in the car pushed to its absolute limits. Driving one demanded respect, skill, and nerves of steel. By delivering a production car that approached true race car performance, Chevrolet blurred the line between street legality and track dominance. The ZL1 didn't just compete with rivals, it set an entirely new benchmark for what a factory muscle car could achieve, rewriting expectations about horsepower and handling in a consumer vehicle. Number 7. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6. The LS6 Chevelle represented the peak of big block muscle car dominance. Officially rated at 450 horsepower, the engine's real-world performance often exceeded even that intimidating figure. Launches were violent, tires spun relentlessly, and traction was almost a suggestion rather than a guarantee. Suspension components and brakes were competent, but clearly pushed beyond their intended limits. Each shift, each acceleration, forced the driver to respect the sheer volume of power beneath the hood. The LS6 Chevelle didn't just challenge competitors, it challenged the very limits of control on public roads. Chevrolet proved that a mid-size car could carry more power than most drivers had ever imagined, cementing the LS6's place in history as a benchmark of raw, unfiltered performance that remains legendary even decades later. Number 6. 1971 Buick GSX. Stage 1, Buick had long been associated with comfort and refinement, not brutal performance. That made the GSX Stage 1 all the more shocking. Its 455 cubic inch V8 produced a staggering amount of torque, delivering acceleration that left more traditionally powerful cars in the dust. What made it extraordinary wasn't just raw horsepower, it was how quietly Buick achieved dominance. There were no flashy graphics or outrageous marketing campaigns, yet the GSX Stage 1 embarrassed cars with higher advertised power every time it hit the road. Tires smoked, suspensions groaned, and drivers quickly learned that this was no ordinary Buick. By wrapping luxury and refinement around unrelenting performance, Buick rewrote the perception of muscle car capability, proving that extreme speed could arrive without fanfare and still command respect. Number 5. 1965. Pontiac Catalina Super Duty. Pontiac's Super Duty program had one goal: winning. The Catalina Super Duty embodied that ambition completely. Designed with racing in mind, the car featured lightweight components, a massive high-output engine, and minimal concessions to comfort or civility. It wasn't meant to be practical, it was meant to dominate the drag strip. Every system in the car worked to maximize acceleration and reduce weight. It was a fearsome, uncompromising machine that challenged expectations of what a factory-backed production car could do. By creating a street-legal vehicle that performed like a privateer race car, Pontiac rewrote performance history, demonstrating the incredible lengths manufacturers would go to deliver power without compromise. Number 4. 1967. Chevrolet Corvette L88. The L88 Corvette was a car that needed no introduction. Chevrolet assumed that anyone who ordered one understood the commitment required to drive it. Its race engine origins meant it demanded premium fuel, thrived on high revs, and ran hot even in city traffic. Cruising gently? Forget it. The L88 was made for speed, for competition, for pushing limits. Aluminum components, stripped-down interiors, and a brutally aggressive camshaft made it feel closer to a track car than a street vehicle. It rewrote performance history by showing that manufacturers could still build uncompromising machines, knowing full well that only the brave or the skilled would extract their true potential. Number 3. 1969. Pontiac Firebird Trans Am Ram Air IV. The Trans Am was already legendary, but the Ram Air IV engine elevated it into the realm of myth. This high-revving, aggressive, and unapologetically raw power plant delivered performance focused almost entirely on the top end. On public streets, it could feel abrupt and unforgiving, yet it rewarded commitment, precision, and bravery. Pontiac demonstrated that factory muscle could be engineered with racing priorities first, street manners second. Each press of the throttle reminded drivers that this wasn't a car for casual enjoyment. It was a car that demanded respect and rewarded boldness, solidifying its place in performance lore. Number 2. 1970. Oldsmobile 442 W30. Oldsmobile stunned enthusiasts with the W30, a car that delivered torque on a level few could imagine. Its massive 455 engine surged forward relentlessly, making smooth driving under full acceleration nearly impossible. Power was immediate, overwhelming, and exhilarating. The W30 proved that performance wasn't the exclusive domain of traditional muscle brands like Chevrolet or Pontiac. Even a marque known for comfort could produce a car capable of redefining expectations and rewriting the rules of acceleration, proving that extreme horsepower could come from anywhere. Number 1. 1969. Chevrolet Copo Camaro. The Copo Camaro wasn't supposed to exist. It was born from defiance, created by exploiting Chevrolet's internal ordering system to bypass corporate restrictions on engine options. The result was a factory-built Camaro that carried engines far beyond the limits of what the standard chassis was designed to handle. Power was extreme, acceleration was brutal, and drivers had to respect the car's fury to survive. The Copo rewrote performance history, not just through sheer speed, but through rebellion itself. It proved that even within the constraints of corporate oversight, engineers and enthusiasts would always find a way to push boundaries, creating machines that were impossible to ignore and impossible to forget. These 10 cars, each in their own way, represent the pinnacle of muscle car ingenuity and audacity. They weren't designed to be polite, safe, or convenient. Every detail, every engine choice, and every engineering decision prioritized performance above all else. They show us that muscle car history wasn't just about speed. It was about pushing the limits, rewriting rules, and creating machines that would inspire awe and fear in equal measure. From the GTO that started it all to the rebellious Copo Camaro, these cars defined an era where horsepower ruled supreme and common sense was optional.